Hey, it's your girl, Diamond Drip, bringing you the business strategies and personal development insights you need in 15 minutes or less. What is niche clarity? No, really. When I looked up the definition of a niche, it was pretty accurate and very straightforward. A niche is a specialized segment of the market for a particular kind of product or service. Boom. Specialized segment of the market. So why is it so difficult for most business owners to niche down? I work with both aspiring and established business owners, and across the board, niching down is a problem. And the answer over time became clear. It's fear. I recently met with my accountant, and towards the end of our time together, we began to talk about marketing and referrals and just getting up to date in our books so that we could continue to send relevant referrals to each other. I made a clear niche distinction that I work with moms who want to start businesses, and further went on to say that realizing this was big for me. You see, at the beginning of our relationship, I was scared to market myself as specializing in women leaders because I knew so many men. I didn't want them to feel excluded. This is hands down the number one reason that I hear when business owners get nervous about niching down. I don't want to exclude this person or that person, or I used to help this one kind of person, but I've evolved and I don't want the old people to feel some type of way, whatever it is. But for me, when I thought about who I was most lit up to help, and more importantly, through a business lens, who was leaning in and actually saying yes, it was women. But I used to spend so much time and effort trying to convince men that my service was valuable. It wasn't until I experienced the freedom of knowing my niche and knowing the value that I bring that I became unapologetic for it. I went to an in-person networking event and I introduced myself as an intuitive business healer, because that seemed to fit the best. And when I finished and the event went on, there was a man who came up to me and was like, "What exactly do you do?" And I explained to him that I work with moms who want to start a business. We explore how to turn their ideas into income, tap into their intuition, find their purpose, and stay accountable to a plan that keeps them moving forward. That, I guess, was a little bit too in the woo for him, because he had this puzzled look on his face and he said, "I still don't really know what you do." And I simply laughed in the moment, just a little chuckle, and said, "That's okay. You're not my target audience." The woman who was standing next to him was a massage therapist who was already on a path of self-discovery, which is what led her to know that she wanted to help people's bodies feel better. She understood exactly what I said with my "what do I do" statement, and she was interested in learning more. I didn't have to convince her. I didn't have to explain anything because she knew. And it's this type of clarity, or even, I dare say, bliss that you feel when you know who your people are, when you stand in the value of the transformation that you provide. So when it comes to niche clarity, I want you to think about, who are you most lit up to help? If you've been in business a while, look at your current customer base. Are there trends that you could identify and speak to get more of those people in? Niche clarity is only hard because our minds complicate it. our not self areas, the areas that are white on your chart, those areas complicate the mind because where we're not defined, where you don't have color, those are areas that you start to listen to your friends, society, your family, and every one thing in between. And because we're taking in information all the time, the brain doesn't even know how to really process it all or figure out which one is right. So what ends up happening is there's this battle back and forth. A lot of people, they have the visualization of the angel on one side, the devil on the other, and they're just arguing. And at the end of the day, you have to pick one to listen to. Instead of just picking one and guessing, you could know. That's where strategy and authority comes in. If for whatever reason you have not booked a reading yet, I strongly encourage you to do so. But first, I want to give you a few practical reasons why you should. The first reason is that you'll leave with ahas. Why do you do the things and think the things that you do? The second is that you'll leave with confidence. Confidence comes from a firm trust. And when you look at your chart for the first time and really start to understand what it is that you're looking at, there's a deep trust in knowing who you are and who you were designed to be. There's a value in having something tangibly help you to see your gifts, help you to establish value in that and trust in that. And the third reason is that you'll actually walk away with tips to help you lean out of fear and into your inner wisdom, the same way that I was able to lean into my inner wisdom. Human design gives you a way to come home to yourself in a way that society has historically kind of just left behind, because we live in a society that tells us that we aren't enough, that the answers that we're looking for are outside of us. I am starting to realize that there's a different way. There is this inner wisdom, this inner knowing that you can tap into. You just have to know how to do it. So head over to diamonddripconsulting.com and book your full composite reading. If you want to start with an energy diagnostic, that's a great place to start, because at least knowing how you use your energy best and how to start to listen to that inner guidance, that inner wisdom is super helpful. Until next time, my lovely.